Awesome. Everyone, welcome to our first Witness Success virtual series. Yay! We are so honored to have Rufus and Jenny with us. If you want, while we're getting kicked off, if you want to put in the chat where you're located so everyone can see it. And yeah, I'm going to turn this over to Megan, who's been one of our amazing sponsors for many, many years. Give her the opportunity to tell you a little bit about her company. She's participated with us even during the COVID pandemic. So we're so thankful you're here, Megan. And then after that, we're going to turn it over to our guests of honor.
Hey, thank you. I'm gonna get my screen going here. So y'all see where I'm at?
We got it.
So I'm Megan Hyman. I've met many of you before. My company name is Bright Step Partners. We do custom lightning components for many different social enterprises, but I'm here to talk to you about a different initiative called Bright Step Leadership. And as I think about this time, I've really been thinking about how important this community has been to me. And I think about particularly Witness Success, that we've helped each other through so many pieces. And there's so many women, particularly in my life, like we've helped each other like get through different situations. We've helped each other actually like get stronger together and move through different scenarios. But this moment of time is different, and it's more challenging, and also kind of is bringing more things to the forefront. And for example, I feel like it's kind of exposing to the fact that we've been helping each other in our boats, and we've kind of been understanding that there's kind of rising tides will lift all boats. But that's kind of been, that image that we've been given has been torn away. That the reality of that has been torn away. And the fact is that we've built some systems around like helping each other bail out the boats, but there's holes in those boats. And just to give you an example, I talked to one woman this week talking about initiatives to help increase diversity in the partner ecosystem, for example, like helping increase the number of Black and other minorities in partner ecosystem. And she said, well, you know, the reality is once those Black technologists get in those partner companies, they are judged twice as harshly as anyone else. And I think this is one of the things that we are reconciling right now, is that we've been helping each other survive and thrive in some of these systems, but the reality of some of these systems is being stripped away. And I would encourage y'all to think of this time as a time when we can collectively take a look back and understand whether we should still keep bailing out the water for each other in those existing boats, or whether it's time to build new boats. And the fact is that there are people actually in our communities building new boats and building new pieces of ways of working in the world and helping each other. And I think that this community has like a unique opportunity to really help each other build a new structure. And so for one of the examples of this is there's currently a group of Black-owned Salesforce entrepreneurs organizing, and there's going to be a directory of those coming out soon. There's a lot of women starting their own Salesforce businesses. There's people in this community helping organize each other in their companies, organizing new initiatives in their companies, in their communities, in their user groups. There's women pointing out the fact that there's increased attacks on social media. There's people organizing their faith communities to really advocate for issues of justice. And so this is really where it's like a kind of a difference between charity is like building systems around bailing out the boats, and justice is really kind of
Megan, could I ask a very quick question?
So,
Sorry, I didn't know whether to put it on chat or just to interrupt. Just to check that I've got the right context, because Mel here in Amsterdam. When you say the reality, kind of the blinkers have been stripped away, are you referring to the Black Lives Matter current issues movement in America? Or are you referring to something else? Just to help me get the context for this conversation. Sorry for asking.
Yeah, good question. So I think at least my experience here is it is the Black Lives Matter movement, and it's more than that. I think I'm experiencing understanding of various systems that are kind of being exposed for justice. And so I know, good, Jocelyn, like keep me on time here. And I think this would actually be, if there's kind of time for discussion later, I think this would be a great moment for folks to kind of dive in and say, like, what new things they're experiencing right now, like what new things that they maybe assumed was the way it was, but they have space to kind of think in different ways about some of the structures that existed before. One of the 1 minute left. Okay, so one of the ways that I would encourage you, at least thinking about new boats in the Salesforce ecosystem, is to encourage the people who are kind of building new structures yourself, spread the news about their work and join in and buy their fish, right? So there's a lot of people starting their own Salesforce businesses right now and buying from them. Again, it's not charity, it's really like using their using their talents and the things that they're building, and to build it yourself. So one of the ways that I'm specifically doing this is, a year ago at the Witness Success Conference, I started the Be a Profitable Salesforce Consultant course. We've had 28 entrepreneurs go through it. One woman said, she's like, I told my husband that there's some moments in your life when you realize, like, this is a moment that's going to change the trajectory of your life. And it's been super humbling to help all these entrepreneurs really create value for clients and for themselves. So that is my next step for you all, is just to think more broadly about the opportunities you see in the midst of this storm that we're in, to build new boats for yourself. And if you're interested in more information about the resources that I have available to entrepreneurs to start their own businesses in the Salesforce ecosystem, you can text BRIGHT. And I don't have time to spam you, as you know, because I also run my own business. But that's the information. So I think I'm out of time.
Thanks, Megan. Really appreciate your partnership with Witness Success.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. So we are going to turn this over to our absolute guests of honor. So Rufus and Jenny, we are so happy you're here, and I'm very excited for your presentation. So I'm going to let you two introduce yourself, because I think you can do it better than anyone in your accomplishments in that. So you guys have the floor.
Actually, our introduction is inside of our presentation. So if I can maneuver.
What you trying to tell her, to get it rolling?
Yeah, we can get this party
kind of
started.
Stuff going on around here.
This party started. The coffee's already percolating. I'm a sipper. So, I'm sipping here.
I'm a gulper, it's gone.
Yeah, he gulps his, and the yin and the yang of everything. But yeah, if I can maneuver how to run our slides, we can get going.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's a share screen button. It should be at the bottom of the Zoom.
Okay.
If you want to hit that, and then it'll ask you to choose like a screen or a desktop or wherever your presentation is. I also have it ready if you need it.
Desktop. Oh, you mean on our own?
Yes.
I didn't pull it up.
So I can absolutely pull it up if you want me to.
How do I bring this down? Just hit it back again. Okay. Oh no, there's an X. Yeah, we're on my husband's computer.
No worries. I'll pull it up for you.
He doesn't keep anything over here.
Hey, we don't, I don't make excuses over here. We just do what we got to do.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. We can do that, and I'll just give you a a move on signal type of situation.
You got it.
Okay. All right.
You done put that girl to work.
Yes, I am. Yeah. That's what I do. That's what I do. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Hustle and flow.
Hustle and flow.
Hustle and flow.
That sounds like a movie. You got some popcorn?
And there's a particular reason why we titled this particular presentation Hustle and Flow. And you guys will see that as we go along in the presentation. And it's diversity networking in the midst of a pandemic and racial awakening. And that's pretty much self-explanatory.
Right in the middle of this bad boy.
That's pretty much self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go. We are, you want to give it?
Rufus and Jenny Triplet, diversity consultants. I'm a lawnmower. I fix stuff around the house. I do everything around here.
No. We are a husband and wife team. We've been married 30 plus years. We are co-authors of the best-selling book, Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century, 13 Easy Tips that can help you get to 20 years and beyond. It's sold over 100,000 copies, self-published. Yeah, we're shocked, we know. And
I ain't shocked.
It has taken us across the country and around the world doing marriage workshops and different things like that. And just recently, it's been converted into a workplace course, a diversity workplace course.
And 4 different languages.
Yeah.
I can't speak none of them, but it's translated.
Yeah, it's been translated in 4 different languages, but our workplace course has been certified by SHRM. So now we have a SHRM certified diversity workplace course from a book that we wrote 7 years ago. And that kind of brings us into this space.
But we all know that the marriage, or if you're working on your job for over 20 years, it's like a marriage. You got to get along with these people in order to stay there.
Yeah, and you have to understand what SHRM, I think, came to the understanding was that the same concepts and principles that we have with conflict resolution between
a man and his
is
wife.
The same thing with workplace conflict resolution, and we can help resolve some things in the workplace with different things as far as conflict resolution. And with that being said, we've counseled over 2,000 plus couples. We've saved a lot of marriages and
spent a lot of money traveling.
Yeah, you guys
shopping. We ain't had to do all that shopping. We just trying to counsel people.
I don't know why you have to mention that part, but yeah, we you guys may have seen us maybe on some TV shows and some different stuff like that. We have a TED Talk. Yeah, so that's the short part. And I try to keep it brief. You got, look, we're Google-licious, and you guys probably have already Googled.
Man, I'm trying to keep it brief right now.
You guys have probably already Googled us, which is enough, but he's always saying that I drag our resume through the door. So, you know, that's the short of it. Okay, and then there's lots more stuff on our website. Okay, we are interactive people. We don't like to sit here and what people say, you know, give lectures and different things like that. We like to get your feedback.
That's called boring.
Exercises. We like to make sure that you have an understanding. We like to give examples for people to understand. We speak to all kinds of people, and we want to make sure that what we're saying, you know, is resonating, is clicking, that you actually get it. So we try to make this interactive. So you guys are going to need, and you probably already have it, you know, a pen, paper, your phone. You could tweet along with us. Our Twitter is at Rufus and Jenny. Everything is pretty much across social media at Rufus and Jenny because we do this together.
I tried to get the man in there, but she just said Rufus and Jenny.
It's gotta be Rufus and Jenny. Nobody knows.
What's
you
wrong with the man?
I don't even call you the man.
I'm the man though.
Okay. Yeah. Stick with that. Okay. All right. So next slide. Since you're the man, read that.
Sameness is the mother of disgust. Variety is the cure. Believe that.
Yes, that is what we have always told people, that everybody can be the same. Yeah, you can walk in and everybody could be the same. But if you have a variety of people, that starts conversations.
And that broadens your communication when you have a variety. If the sameness, you're gonna have the same communication. I can't say it enough. Was it Megan? Wasn't that Megan that was just on here?
Yeah.
I think her name was Megan.
No. Oh yeah, Megan that was giving the
And
presentation.
Megan said enough. It's got to change. You got to have, brown the ship. We want to tear it down and put something new up in there.
We got to send out some lifeboats, right? Okay, yeah, and save some people, that kind of thing. Okay, all right. Okay, we're sorry that this slide is so big, but we felt that, you know, we wanted our faces.
I didn't want my face up there.
More so than our uniforms. The picture was more of our uniforms than our faces. So
I got a tan and everything up in there.
Our faces kind of big. I'll let you tell your story. Part of our earliest diversity was with the military, but I'll let you tell.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, like when I joined the military, you're gonna get variety and diversity real quick. Because when you jump in and you step in that platoon, the drill instructor tell you right off the bat, ain't no black and white up in here. It's green and light green. The only color you see in the military is green, period. And we learned real quick how that diversity worked when they took out the black and white. Some people say yellow. See, I don't know. I ain't never seen no yellow person. I don't know what nobody talking about. But anywho, they take out the color and they put one color in there, and that's all you see in the military.
And I don't understand that. Now, see, he was in the Marine Corps. I was in the Navy. We is our green and light green. It was no green and light green. It was a little bit different, you know, in the Navy. But even before,
what y'all saw, blue and light blue?
But even before, no.
Y'all in the ocean?
Experience
y'all in water.
In the Navy, my more so diversity went because I went to what they would call integrated schools. I went because my parents wanted better education for me. So in elementary school, I got sent across town to what they would call the white schools. And that's pretty much where I grew up.
Was they painted white or something?
My elementary school was 97% white. I was one of few black people that was there. My middle school was, more people started coming across the bridge. So my middle school was 90% white. And then by the time people started to realize and wake up in our city that the schools on our side of town wasn't, you know, doing that good, my high school was maybe about 80% white. So that's where I grew up. That was my mixture. And that was, you know, where my learning of different people are. But we didn't have those problems. We didn't have racial issues. Now I'm aging myself. This was the 80s, okay? So, but we didn't.
Oh, y'all used to party too much back then.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I mean, my best friend was white. My BFF, you know, was white coming up through elementary school, middle school, and everything like that. We didn't have. I would go to her house, you know, and everything. So we didn't have those type of, you know, racial issues or anything like that. So when I went into the military, still in my teens, and you go into a berth with like 80 women from all different places across the country, and you're doing everything together, which is a culture shock because, you know, you're showering together and you're sleeping together and, you know, everything that you're doing is together.
Well, no boys up in there.
It's women. You know, we are separate.
I ain't know what was up.
Just separate. So that's a shock. And then you get to the people who come from maybe some places in Tennessee, a little bit below maybe the Mason-Dixon line and stuff like that, and still relate to Black people as colored people. And it's kind of shocking to you. And you're the type of person that's going to address that because everybody else is looking around like, what did she say? And, you know, you take that to task. So those are the type of experiences that have groomed us as far as our diversity is concerned and help us learn to mesh with other people and how to talk to other people and, you know, maybe not to be so combative because a lot of times you just have to understand where someone is coming from.
You don't know how nobody grew up. You don't know what their background is.
And their environment is to understand why they think or even talk a certain way.
So we're going to conversate with you. If you come talking about this colored person over here, we're going to have a conversation. We ain't finna go yelling and throwing stuff.
I didn't yell at her, you know, just when she was having a little conversation with her people and she said, you know, the colored people, I just interjected and I asked her, well, what color were they? You know, because I really needed understanding, you know, you're mentioning somebody that's of color. And she just looked at me shocked and said, you know, Now, how am I supposed to know? Because
Oh,
I've
I
never
knew.
been referred to
If
as
she was talking to me, I would have knew.
in my whole life. You know, I've never been referred to as a colored person. So how would I know? Okay. All right. Go on. Let's go. So this is a lot of where we thrive. We end up in rooms like this with lots of people. And in this particular
They
room,
almost called the fire marshal up in here.
yeah, in this particular room, it was only supposed to be 500 people. The seats, and you went in, if you counted, it was only supposed to be 500 people. But it ended up being standing room only, sitting room only, you know, and everything, coming to hear our panel and hear us speak and different things like that. And you notice that there's different ethnicities, you know, nationalities, races.
Can't see all of them, but
yeah.
they up in there. They everywhere.
Even the ages, if you looked in, if you could see it or whatever, it's ages. The ages probably range anywhere from teens to
it was grandmas up in there.
To baby boomers, you know, and everything. And we speak to people all around the world, and they're normally looking rooms like this.
But everybody want to know about diversity. It's diversity in everything, including marriage.
Yeah, and people always wonder, how do we get here? How do we get into rooms like this? Well, it takes some networking.
going back to that all good thing, how you network, who you network with, how open-minded are you in networking?
Yeah. Let's go. All right, so we've come to our first exercise. And we're going to give you guys an opportunity.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah, an opportunity to tell us how you would do certain things.
Yeah,
so
I want to see what Paul finna say. Mm-hmm.
This is where you pull it out and let us know. Okay, so let's go to the exercise. We're going to explain it and then maybe, you know, call on some people for some answers. We want you to study this picture, okay? And then we want you to answer these questions.
Number one, how do you start a conversation with her? Number two, what is something you should say?
Not say.
Or not say to her? Number three, what is something that is presumption? Yeah. What's the presumption that you have of her?
Just by looking at the picture. And we always do this game, you know, it's called icebreakers, because sometimes, you know, people don't understand that they're getting it wrong. They're getting it wrong. So
yeah, the icebreakers be totally in left field.
Yeah, we want you guys to take a little minute and you know, answer these questions, and then we'll see what you have, what you come up with. Let us know who wants to take the first one. Or I'm going to start calling on you like your third grade teacher.
Paul look like he's ready.
Uh-oh, Paul.
I'm ready with the first one. I've no idea about the next two, but the first one.
Okay.
And I've realized what I do. My question be, what brings you here today? I bring an open question.
Paul.
Ding, 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 ding,
oh
ding.
My God.
You go ahead on. Paul, I knew you had something coming to you.
Exactly. Paul, you got it. Yay, Paul. Give him a gold star.
But before you asked me that, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. Because I run a user group here in Amsterdam and I make it open and welcoming. Before you send this slide, I didn't realize why I was being effective. The other two I've got no ideas about, by the way, so I can't take anything cocky on that.
Well, we'll give you a gold star for that one. Okay. All right. Who wants to take the next one?
Number two. Anybody got an answer for number two? Nobody.
Yeah, nobody.
I'll say a comment about her hair or what she's wearing.
Okay, that's a good one, and we'll talk about that in our answers. Okay, now number three. Anybody wants to answer that one?
Anybody presume anything right off the bat?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Charlie.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you called me out, and I was gonna add. I was gonna add to number two and say, hey, can I like that thing you're wearing. Can I touch your hair? That's something you should not say.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's definitely something you
All
should
right,
say.
Charlie.
And then number three, what is something that's a presumption? Okay, so I might assume that she's a woman of Islamic faith because she's wearing a headscarf.
Yeah, that's a presumption. That's a presumption. You guys did
Actually,
really
a good presumption.
good. You guys did really, really good. Okay, because trust me, we go into some rooms and people, I mean, they don't get it.
They be saying stuff, and I'm like, you ain't never finna grow your network.
Yeah. So starting a conversation with her, Paul is like really, really, on it. If it's at an event, talk about the agenda.
Some very open.
Yeah, talk about the food. Or talk about the organization, or just like Paul said, what brings you here?
Please don't say nothing about her because you don't know her.
Yeah. Something that you should not say, and I get this a lot because I am Muslim and I wear, my scarves and different things like that, depending on where we are. And a lot of times I walk into a room, I'm the only one that looks like this. In a lot of rooms that we go into. Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes. And believe it or not, people do not realize that where you from is not a conversation starter. That's not an icebreaker. I was born in Detroit, and I was raised there because
you might get it. You're gonna get it. Well, 9 times 10, you'll probably get it wrong.
Yeah, you'll probably get it wrong, and it's not. It's more so of a curiosity question instead of an icebreaker. And if you actually start the conversation with people, you get to that part. That part comes out. Because 9 times out of 10, after they asked me where I'm from, and I said, I was born in Detroit, I was raised in Michigan, that kind of thing. Then they'll go to, well, where are your parents from? So
they just get deeper and deeper. Like,
exactly.
You really don't want to go there.
Yeah. That's where that goes. And that's, it's a complete turnoff. It's a complete turnoff as far as the conversation is concerned. I don't understand how any type of networking is going on, with there. How are we even going to get past this point? Because you've already pretty much turned me off, starting with that question. Okay. And then something that you shouldn't, something that is a presumption, Charlie, you got it right as far as for the religion is concerned, but it's also presumed that because she is dressed like that she's from another country.
Right, she's from Africa. A lot of people go straight to Africa with that. And
or that she doesn't speak English.
And everybody around the world dresses a certain way. Like even in America, you see people dressed like that. So it shouldn't be presumed that she's from another country just because she's dressed like that.
Exactly. There's a lot of people.
But it's not like they don't know. They look at. I'm looking at their faces. Yeah. They all know that. I'm looking at them.
Or depending on what type of event that it is, you could be dressed up in that type of way, depending on what type of organization, or depending on who she's with, who she came with, and she may have decided or chose to dress that way. So there's a lot of presumptions that go on in networking with people, and things that that you really shouldn't do. That makes it hard to break the ice because there's a lot going on with someone when you approach me. And trust me, the where are you from, I've gotten that too many times to count. Okay. All right, let's go. All right. Diversity is more than race and gender. And I think we're kind of stuck right now. If you see the things that are going on here in the US with Kamala Harris and different things like that, we're kind of stuck on the race thing. If you're looking at someone, diversity can be by sight, because it can be their physical features. You may have a disabled person. You may have something that someone is actually, wearing that makes them more diverse than the other person, their clothing. Okay. Then it could be what they're eating or they're drinking. We've traveled to so many different countries, and he's a foodie. So we'll try, different foods in different countries that they don't even offer over here.
I try everything but them spiders and crickets. They be chocolate, and
we don't try everything.
Oh, that's
we don't try everything. We don't try everything, but we try, a lot of different foods, and it's the diversity in that you see you know, what other people have to offer. And you know, just by people eating certain things, probably that you've never heard of, makes them diverse in some type of way, which means they have origins, you know, that are someplace else. Okay. Next. You want to start? Okay. Oh, we skipped back. Go back one. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Diversity. Yeah, there we go. Diversity can also be by an accent. If someone has a long Southern Texas drawl, you know, or maybe in the Bible Belt in Alabama or something like that or whatever, you pretty much can tell where they're from. If someone has that, you do your Nigerian accent?
I don't know. You can't just tell by the accent now.
You can tell that they're from a different part of the country.
You can tell that they might be from a different part of that state.
We were doing an IG live last week with someone from Canada, and the comments kept saying, "I love you guys' accent. I love you guys' accent." We're from the U.S.
Like what accent?
So we
I got an accent.
We don't feel we have an accent. We don't feel, because we sound like this, but people from other countries feel that we have an accent. You know, people from Canada were chiming in, people from the UK were chiming in and saying, you guys look at your accent, just love your accent. Like, what accent? You know?
Oh, I was like, cool, I got an accent then.
Yeah,
I never knew I had one.
Accent. And then when people speak in certain vernacular, you know, there's people from the Geechee Islands,
well, where are
you know,
you from?
or people from South Dakota.
What about the people that just talk
you know,
proper?
a certain way that they talk, or people from Boston, the Boston Yard, you know, their vernacular that they speak is a diversity.
Is you talking about them people in Boston?
About that, I'm talking about their vernacular. Okay.
I'm gonna tell them people.
Yeah, well, how they sound. Okay. Or if it's something that they mention, you know, because a lot of times certain things are only in certain places. The way that they give you directions, you know, go down by the vault and, you know, turn.
Go down yonder and see
Yeah.
that tree down there and turn.
Yeah. Or
is it a road sign down there? Something?
Right.
Can you help me out a little bit more?
Turn by the big tree that Uncle Freddie made by the, you know, the road is, you know,
man,
something.
You and your family know where that tree is. I ain't never been in these parts.
Yes.
Can you tell me something different?
Exactly. So something that someone mentions, you know, they're from a certain place, you know,
and how they give direction, how they talk to you, you definitely know they ain't from where you from.
Right. Okay. All right, next. All right, you want to read it?
Reasons why networking is needed. Are you networking correctly? Which is why we here. Right. First and foremost, you got to build your circle. And remember I said build your circle, not help my circle. Take my circle from me. Again, my network, when we build a network, that's our network. Our network know who we are. Our network don't know you. But some people go and try to take other people's network like it's their own. It don't work that way. Networking is for you and you alone. So you have to build your circle.
Right. And a lot of times if you don't build, then you're going to end up like this. Like we've been doing this. We wrote our book seven years ago, but had we not expanded outside of our circle, expanded our reach, gotten outside of our circle,
went to Dubai, to Paris, to Europe,
we wouldn't have all the opportunities that we had, because we would have just been, you know, like in our little bubble. And everything was good and
these people right
here, and okay, and it just, you know, it just wouldn't have happened. So it does expand your reach when you network properly and get outside of your circle. And you can find new mentors. You can find people who are actually doing things that you think is inspirational.
It's great, right?
You know, and you may not have never done that had you not reached out. Because a lot of times it's just about an olive branch. You know, giving the olive branch and everything, and people are ready for that.
Just like exercise number 1, improve communication skills.
Yes.
I can't tell you enough about how we communicate. You communicate in marriage because you might be on a different level than your spouse.
Always.
So you got to find ways to communicate, right? So it's the same as networking. You got to find ways to communicate, improve
your communication.
communication.
I'll tell you guys a little story because I mean we travel a lot, right?
I hope it ain't about me. Can you tell it about
you? It is about
Megan
you.
or somebody?
I'm gonna tell you guys. Okay, so we went to Cuba a few years ago, right? And
wasn't me.
You know, Cuba has when President Obama opened it up for everybody to go, we said let's go because I'm sure they're gonna try to shut this down, right? So Cuba is like behind everybody in everything because they've had so many embargoes and different things going on. Everything is really like old school over there, really, really old.
These people don't need no life lessons.
And their Spanish is deep. They're deep in Spanish. I took high school Spanish, which was several years ago. I'm aging myself again.
I did too.
Several years ago. All right. It's a wonder that we even got around the whole
they Spanish
island.
Yeah, they Spanish was on a different level.
Yeah.
Her high school Spanish didn't even help me. I told her, what are you here for? You're supposed to help me out.
And you know they don't have the internet over there like that. So we can only you have to actually buy internet cards. So trying to look up things, how we go to other countries and we're able to Google Translate and different stuff like that.
We didn't have that either.
It's not possible in Cuba because you could only have the internet.
I started doing sign language
in certain places, and you have to buy a card, for that. There was hardly anybody we found that spoke English.
Leche. So, I knew one word that we all leche.
And then that didn't even help because we're spoiled as Americans with creamer for coffee, and all they have is milk, which is leche. So you have to network to improve your skills. So
we left there with a couple people in our network.
Yes.
And learning more. Yeah. That was the good thing about it.
That was the good thing about it because it definitely improved our communication skills to help us navigate around, foreign countries.
Well, it just told me how to show pictures more.
Yeah.
Leche.
Yeah. Stop it.
Well,
okay.
I was learning. It was a learning process.
Okay. And also network, like I already said before, it can help you discover inspiration. If you guys are on social media, you need to find people who are giving you inspiration, especially in times like right now, because it's really hard.
COVID got us messed up.
It's really hard. If you pay attention to the news every day, it's really hard to stay inspired. So find people who are giving you inspiration and hope with that.
If you find them, just follow them, communicate with them.
Okay. All right. So as of this presentation, there was 4.75 million COVID-19 cases here in the U.S. Guys know we're over 5 million now, right? Okay. And there was 11.3% unemployment. You guys know we're over that now, right? So things are really, really tough for everyone around here in the U.S.
And sometimes you don't want to communicate. Sometimes you're focused on different things, but
you're focused just trying to get through life.
That's right.
Just waking up every day and just trying to get through life. You can go into the next one. And then we're dealing with all of this. We're dealing with the Karens going wild, calling police on Black people. We're dealing with the Black Lives Matter movement. We're dealing with the mask debate here in the U.S.
You're dealing with that hat, but
some people don't want to wear a mask, so we can move forward, okay? And then we're dealing with this redness over here, okay? So how do you talk to people during these times?
Yeah, how do you talk to people?
If you approach someone, you have no idea what they're gonna say or how they're gonna respond because everybody is on edge. Everybody is fighting something.
Everybody except me.
They're fighting. You fighting something.
I ain't on edge.
I
don't do edge.
They're fighting, COVID and testing and different things. They're fighting unemployment. They just cut people off over here. Nothing, just cut them off, no money, nada, okay? And then they're fighting, all of this. Sometimes people don't even want to talk about it because there's so much going on. So how do you talk to people? How do you approach people? How do you, extend an olive branch? How do you open a door when all of this is going on? Okay, next one. This is where we come to the exercise again. And we're going to teach you guys a few things of what is safe, safe for you to discuss. So hopefully you got your stuff ready. Okay. So we want you guys to look at these 3 pictures, and we want you to see what's on the pictures and say how you would start a conversation just based on these 3 pictures.
Based on those 3 pictures.
Yeah, just give us 3 different things, one for each picture, on how you would start a conversation based on these 3 pictures.
I can't wait to hear these.
Me too.
That baby is so cute.
Yeah. Who wants to take the first one? Take the baby.
I can try that one.
Go ahead.
The first thing came to mind was like talking about like what's your favorite TV show or form of entertainment. Just given that like Fresh Prince made me think of like what I watched growing up. So just trying to learn about someone's interest.
Okay. Who wants to take the next one? The dogs.
I would tell everybody I'm allergic. And even the picture makes me
The
sneeze.
dogs?
Yeah. Look at that picture. The only thing worse is cats.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's a cat guy. See, this is a dog cat thing. You know? Okay, who wants to say?
I love dogs though. I love my my daughter's dogs are the best.
Hey, man, see, we come from them places because when I looked at that picture, I saw Crips and Bloods.
Oh yeah. Well, I grew up in that area. I grew up in LA, so I know all about that. That's very painful to me, so I don't talk about that.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so who wants to take the next one? LeBron.
I would probably say, oh, I know absolutely nothing about basketball. There we go. That's how little I know.
That was a perfect.
that wasn't deliberate.
No, that was perfect though.
The first one would have been hilarious, even if actually, we would have had a conversation about it. Okay? I like witty, I like sarcasm, whichever way it rolled. Okay, it would have been good with me. Okay. All right. Yeah. So this exercise is about
That was too funny.
Yeah, safe topics and safe spaces. And number 1 is exactly right, because a lot of us are at home right now. So it's a safe topic is, what have you been watching? What are you watching? What is good to watch on TV?
Can't go wrong with that one.
But you can also engage them about their kids. If they have kids. Now that might not be a good topic for some people, because some kids are running their parents crazy, but some are doing really good, making the TikTok videos and and stuff like that. So that that's a safe topic. Okay. And then people love animals, whether you're a dog lover or a cat lover, people.
Except for Charlie get sneezing and stuff.
Yeah. So ask
I
them
love
about
dogs still.
ask them about their animals and how they reacting now that everybody is at home. People are at home 24/7. Are they acting? How are they acclimating? To the situation. What's exactly going on? And then sports. Anybody else missing the Olympics? Yeah, I was watching, Olympic videos this morning.
I wanted to see if Michael Phelps can get another medal.
Yeah,
He done sat down on me.
Aging myself again. I was watching, Dominique Dawes, and she got the perfect 10 and stuff like that in gymnastics. I was a gymnast for several years, so watching that, whatever. But sports is a pretty safe topic, especially now since it's back.
What you gonna talk about? What happened last year?
No, you can talk about what happened any year.
Well, you ain't in the stadium this year. You're looking at it on TV.
People still talk about Muhammad Ali. He was the greatest. People still talk about Michael Jordan. These people aren't playing anymore, but it's still a safe topic as far as engaging people and getting to their interests and hobbies and different things as networking with people.
That's what I said.
Okay, that's what you said.
Okay.
All right, next.
Look, I hate having to do small talk. I'd rather talk about meditation or the world or trees or even animals than small, inane, banter.
Now that's just a statement.
That ain't just a statement.
But look who said it. Okay. Now, she is a topic of controversy right now because of how she's treating her employees.
Yeah.
So you may have something that someone says that's, relevant in some type of ways to what you're doing, but also depending on the person who said it, the person you're speaking to may have a problem with that. I don't want to hear nothing she has to say. You know, so that may be a turn off in the other direction, you know, depending on how you bring the message. Okay, next. How did we get here? Anybody notice anything about this picture?
You made me get on the plane and fly to LA.
Anybody notice anything about this picture? We were, when Ricki Lake rebooted her show, we were in a social network family. Obviously, you see of a lot of people that don't look like us. And we were embraced. We were embraced as far as helping build the team social-wise to try to make, you know, her show do what it needed to do in regards to the rebuild. And it was a team building type thing. And she just didn't want one certain type of people.
She was trying to get diversity.
She was trying to get diversity. But as you can see, there's not a lot of us here because people did not embrace it the way that we did. They weren't open to receiving a lot of the network and the outreach, you know, that they were doing. So that comes in two ways as far as the diversity is concerned. You could be extending the olive branch, but it also has to be open to receive, you know, to receiving in order for something like this to happen.
Without doubt, you gotta be willing to open yourself up to new people, to new ideas, to, I mean, just open, you had to be open to building your network. If you're not open, 9 times out of 10, you won't build it as far as inclusion and diversity.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next. And when we're speaking about diversity, let's not forget that aging or age is a part of diversity. Let's not forget our baby boomers, okay?
Let's not forget the golden girls.
The golden girls, okay? We are, and the guys, okay? We're living in a very interesting time where there's multiple generations that are very active. You know, we speak to them all. Baby boomers, we're Gen X, the millennials, those doggone millennials. We're raising a couple of them, okay? And, you know, the Gen Z, who's a really carefree generation. They're just all carefree because they grew up with the internet. They're, you know, a generation that totally grew up with the internet. And we cannot forget, even though we may want to be with the cool people, like the cool people, the millennials or something like that.
Oh, you be want to hang around me?
You're not a millennial.
Oh, I'm the cool people though.
You're not a millennial. They want to hang around you. For some reason, millennials gravitate to us. Like our sweet spot is 25 to 35. That I mean, we have a huge demographic in that area for some reason. I think they like him as the crazy uncle.
No, I think they be trying to learn something.
But yeah, we have a lot of those people. But like I said, we cannot forget, you know, this age group in networking because they have a lot to say.
That's right. They want to learn. They want to learn the apps. They want to know how to communicate with their grandchildren. Again, but somebody has to network with them and show them and teach them.
Right. And open.
I welcome everybody.
They have to open the door once again, like I said, extend that olive branch and be open to receiving what they have to say as well. Okay, next. All right, so we've given you guys some good stuff and we've come to this exercise. So go ahead. We're gonna do this one again and see what you have to say, okay?
If you don't know what they are,
yeah. So we're gonna try this again. After all of what you guys have heard us say, let's see what you guys have to say.
How do you start a conversation with her?
Who wants to take that one first?
We should be rolling off top of our head now.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Cassie?
Megan?
Cassie, how do you start a conversation with her?
I mean, now that Paul shared his of like what brings you here, that's stuck in my head now. But I would think, you know, I'm trying to think of something else besides that now. But I think something, again, just open about, you know, depending on the setting we're in, or again, going back to some of those like questions about interests or, you know, how do you spend your time?
Okay.
Okay, so what is something you should not say to her?
Where are you from?
That one's gonna stick. That's definitely gonna stick. Okay, and the last one.
And the last one, what is something that you might presume about her?
That she's from another country.
That she's from another country. Okay, and that's definitely not the case. Okay, all right, moving on. I see you guys have y'all got that good.
You can't have unity without diversity. I'm gonna say it again. I don't know why people try this, but you cannot have unity without diversity.
It's gonna take us all, and it's gonna take
It's gonna take a mixture.
Yeah, a well-rounded mixture of people in order to, unify. With growing up, we always heard that the U.S., and I'm sorry if I'm leaving anybody out that's from another country, but the U.S. is a melting pot. We are. It should be, but it seems like there's now more divisiveness, based on, certain things than more inclusiveness.
But you can't, you can't have unity without diversity. I don't care how people have tried it in the past. They've taught diversity, but diversity is going to look like diversity, period.
All right, next. Oh, we are about to wrap it up. Y'all about to lose us.
Huh?
We're about to wrap it up.
They're probably ready for everybody to shut up.
We about to wrap it up. Next. In summary, okay, these are you guys' takeaways, okay? 3 things to remember when seeking leads and connections, since we're all business people here and we're always looking to, find new ways to connect with people and different things like that. You guys can find us on LinkedIn. I'm at Jenny Triplett. He's at Rufus Triplett, but I get a lot of maybe 20 cold leads a day, like people trying to connect with me on LinkedIn. And one of the biggest problem that I have is that someone will send something and it's very cold. It's very cold. And they'll say, I see that you're a part of, such and such network and I want to connect with you. Okay, in my mind, my immediate thing being at this age, especially is why? 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 You haven't said anything. I don't know you from Adam. I definitely don't see where you have even went and looked at my profile.
It's time to get up.
Or anything. So why? I don't understand. So number 1 is be authentic.
Be yourself.
Be authentic. Don't just generate something that you're copying and pasting, to everyone that you're coming around. Or, if you're going into a room, you're coming in like, hey, looky, here comes brown cookie. No, that is not authentic.
I mean, when you're networking, don't try to put on a front. Be yourself. 9 times out of 10, people fall in love with you when networking, truly networking, because they like you.
When you're your authentic self, okay? Number 2, be genuine. A lot of people would say 1 and 2 is the same. It's not. It's not. Genuine is something that is from the heart, or it's a step towards sincerity, that you're actually sincere about what you're doing. So those 2 things are not the same. They're not one and the same. And don't form any biases. As you can see, my sisters over here, the techie, the women in tech, which I'm pretty sure that they experienced a lot of things in Silicon Valley as far as prejudice and discriminations and different things like that. There's a certain bias, in regards to women or women of Asian descent, the Desis and different things like that. And when you approach people and you network with people, don't approach with those biases. Don't. Yeah,
because she probably don't know nothing about no Bollywood.
No, she probably don't know nothing about it. You never know. If she grew up here, she may have never seen it. You never know anything about anyone. So do not come with any type of biases. Okay, next.
We are diversity disruptors.
And we're going to change the norm because the norm hasn't been working. So that's our little hashtag. Yeah, that's our little hashtag that we use, is that we disrupt diversity, because we're doing something different than the norm. If you guys are interested in more of, you know, connecting with us, different things, or any of our training, we do facilitated training. You could text 474-747 and just put interested, or, you know, hey, or hola, or whichever one of the,
Yeah, it
the
goes a
two
lot
languages,
deeper than this.
the three languages I speak. No.
I speak of one language. Well, I can do about 5.
You speak by 5? 5, yeah. You got words. Okay. All right, next. Okay. Now comes the fun part. We're going to answer you guys' questions, if you have any. So we hope that you enjoyed our presentation. We hope that we have poured into you guys some really good tips and different things like that. And yeah, we'll take your questions.
No questions? Cool.
Stop
Hey, huh?
it. You gotta give people time.
I have a question. What are the kinds of, what different questions are you getting now, like post-COVID, that are different from the questions that you were getting before? Or like what have you seen that's changed, I guess, in the last 6 months in terms of how people are engaging with work or engaging in diversity in work?
Well, we see there's a lot of symbolized protests. We're very proactive in stating our making our voices known and the protest. And when people change their, like a lot of brands and companies change their profile pics to like the black square, we want to know what your initiatives are. You know, if you're not showing me diversity initiatives or anything like that moving forward. As a matter of fact, show me your executive board. You know, show me your upper level management. You know, show me what you're doing in your company, you know, instead of changing your social media square to black. You know, show me that. So we take on, you know, people at their symbolism.
Right, where they at. So
Yeah.
Again, what we're seeing, especially as far as the atmosphere that we're in now, is you can say something, but again, what does diversity look like at your company, or what does diversity look like in your network?
Yeah.
All righty then. Megan hit it on the button.
Yep. Anybody else?
If someone starts, oh, sorry, I'll let whoever else was speaking.
No, go ahead.
Not everybody at one time. We here. No.
Okay, it's a fair. If someone hasn't got a very diverse circle, if they're listening to your presentation or listening to a recording of this, where do they start?
Extending the olive branch. Like when I was talking to Melinda, who's not here. Hey, Melinda, I hope you happy glamping, girl. She was wondering how I found you guys, how, you know, we found this conference. Well, we have a diverse network on all of our social media. A lot of people use their social media for the same thing, you know, for the same thing. All of our social media is kind of used for something different. So it brings our network, you know, it brings different people into our network. Our Twitter is basically for media, politics, a lot of what goes on, you know, with everything that's going on in the world. So when you go into certain hashtags, you find, you know, different things or different people to network with.
Find other people that's think outside the box, was what I would tell people. Find other avenues that don't go with your norm.
Yeah, if you're down with the Black Lives Matter movement, hashtag Black Lives Matter in the Twitter search or whatever, and start following and seeing what people are saying with that conversation. You know, find people, you know, who are aligning in different things. Find organizations and companies, because once you follow an organization, it brings up so many other suggestions, you know, for people who to follow, you know, down those lines. And trust me, you'll start building. Our Twitter is, like I said, mainly for that, but it's very strategic, you know, who we have. We have a lot of media contacts on there, a lot of journalists who follow us. And I told them in our training class, I don't broadcast this a lot, but you know, Barack Obama follows us on Twitter, you know, and that's something that we're just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people who follow us on Twitter for certain things because of certain things that we say.
Yeah, so I guess my question is, just to see if it reflects my experience, is by starting, you know, you and Megan and others, if you start following people on Twitter, you get drawn into the conversation and your awareness increases, and then you start to have more conversations with other people. Like,
Yes.
Twitter's an easy method of doing that. There's other methods as well, but
Yeah.
maybe start somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. Start somewhere, but don't be scared
Yeah.
to back out of somewhere.
Yeah, don't be afraid to walk away for some conversation.
If it's too much,
yeah.
Hey, I back out real quick.
Yeah.
I know how to fall back.
You can even start with the trending topics, you know, because there's trending topics every day. You know, you can hop in those trending topics and you'll find people that will retweet your stuff as long as you use that hashtag and different things. And you'll end up growing your network.
But be open to talking to anybody. See, we are open to talking to anybody. But when you go and start foolishness, we're going to back out of it. But I will talk to anybody.
And mind you, I have to monitor like all of our social media daily, because I mean, we have over on our Facebook personal page, not even our fan page, we have like over 10,000, almost 11,000 followers, not friends. Our friends is less than 3,000, but our followers,
but it's very diverse.
Like almost 11,000, you know, on it, and it's a very diverse crowd.
And you would, I mean, some of these people I wouldn't have never thought would be following me, but again, it's people like you. So I can't, be authentic is so true. I mean, I don't care if you're a boring person, be boring, but be yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All righty then.
Well, no, there was two people talking.
I better quit saying all righty then, huh?
There was somebody talking when he did, and then somebody else had a question.
No, I think you more or less covered it as far as that. I want to talk about, like, being yourself is really good. I'm African American.
Who we talking to, Joycelyn? I don't see her in the panel.
It might be Erica. Ain't no video on.
Yeah, I can't get the camera up for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Erica, don't even worry about it. I don't know what she's talking about. Go ahead and talk.
No, I was just thought it was somebody else, but go ahead.
Speak your piece.
Yeah, I think, you know, everybody is in some way, shape, or form multicultural. I'm multicultural, and I oftentimes, what I learned a long time ago, that sometimes people just don't know. When you don't know, you don't know. And like an incident with my braids, when I used to wear braids, and my white coworkers were like, how long did it take to do your braids? And, you know, I took that as a teachable moment, you know, because they were so surprised how long it takes to get your hair done and all this stuff. But my Black coworkers were like, why are they asking you that, you know, which, you know, I always think that when you have opportunities like this, it really opens the door to breaking down barriers and for people to learn a lot about one another. So I'm happy that this movement is happening throughout the country. And, you know, just being yourself is really what matters, because you can't really control how another person is going to receive that, you know. So that's all I wanted to say.
Nope, be yourself, be respectful, but just be yourself.
Thank you, Erica. We appreciate your input. Anybody else? Or are we good? I think you owe me lunch.
I got a question.
Is it time for lunch? I think you owe me lunch.
I got a statement. I ain't cooking today.
Okay. What? Oh.
I'm just a girl.
Don't think so. No, sir. No, sir. That's what he did in the military, guys.
But hey, this been fun.
He was a chef in the military, so he cooks the majority of the time in the house. So.
It's been fun, and I hope all of us grow our networks in a diverse way. I really do.
Thank you guys for coming to our presentation. We appreciate it. They're gonna send you guys a survey link to follow up if you guys give us some.
You done messed up now.
Some feedback or whatever. Just know that we may use your quotes.
Oh, it just surprised me.
Either via social media or on our website or anything like that. Just so you know.
What about the bad ones? Post everything.
We'll suppress those.
No.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rufus and Jenny. It was an honor having you a part of us, and we are having another session later today, so I'm very excited to hear this all again. As they said, surveys are coming after. You'll also get a link. So for Witness Success 2020, we had made pins. And since we're not meeting in person, we're going to be sending those pins out to everyone that wants to provide their information to us. So you can still have a little bit of our conference like we have. Follow us on the social medias, and then mark your calendars. We do have the next 2 sessions. So we're doing this once a month, same timing. So we're trying to hit all the time zones we possibly can. So we're going to have 10 a.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern every month leading up to next year's conference. So we're going to try and do this once a month to keep the conversations, the different topics, our networking, and keep what Witness Success is supposed to be about, and, bring that to everyone. So we really appreciate it. And I want everyone, if you're unmuted, let's give a round of applause for Rufus and Jenny. Thank you so much for being a part of our...
Louise, Erica, all y'all. Hey, we appreciate y'all being here.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day or evening, wherever you're at.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.